Yo, what's happening, people? Thank you for pushing play on the Lions Roar vlog. We are dead smack in the middle of the first book of Adam and Eve. Hit that subscription button, hit the notification bell so you can know when new videos come out. I'm posting on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If I miss a day, then just know I'm posting Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, okay? That's my goal now. I'm trying to get these videos to be a little bit shorter, but sometimes if the spirit is talking, if there's good commentary, if it's just good stuff, they just might be a little bit longer, which is the case with the previous one. It's about 35, 38 minutes, but it's a good one. And we're in a good part of this book one. We're in a part where the spirit of the Most High is starting to say to Adam, like, look, man, this state that you in, I want you to pay attention to this dark one, to this low vibe that keep doing what it's doing and saying what it's saying to you. I need you to understand that he don't love you like that. And here I am, I created you, and you should have been listening to me, but you didn't even listen to me. And you went and gave him the same energy and the same respect and power that you're supposed to give me, and he don't deserve it. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna make sure this video is a little bit shorter because that's because the last one was kind of long. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right. Then Adam and Eve came into the cave, yet trembling at the fire that had scorched their bodies. So Adam said to Eve, look, the fire has burnt our flesh in this world. But how will it be when we are dead? Shall Satan punish our souls? Shall the low one punish our souls? See, you got to understand something. They probably think that being has more power than what they understand. You know, why would they think that? Well, because he came and taught them something that once they did it, it changed their state. It changed their spiritual state. It changed their mental. It changed their emotional. And eventually it changes their physical, as we see as we read this. And, well, it changes their state of being physically. And so they, even though the transgression is definitely a sin, it's the first sin, and it was wrong because they weren't supposed to do it, they were told not to, you still got to understand that, like, they're early humans. And if you've been here and you've listened to this so far, then you already have seen the signs of them being the early humans. They really don't know what's going on. They're asking all sorts of questions. It's like this, and the stuff that they're pressing into and trying to understand, it's just like, it seems so outlandish, but it's not, because they're new humans. So that being that tricked them, that lower one, that Satan, that dark one, you know, that dark spirit that manipulated them, that's why they're like, man, maybe this thing, you know, maybe the Most High God and that is like, he might be able to really do something to us, because look, he taught us this thing that we weren't supposed to know, and look at all this that happened because of him. So they're still kind of have a certain amount of, how do I say, interest in Satan, if you will. And the fact that maybe they feel like, for them to say this, they have to feel like he has some kind of power, right? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Is not our deliverance long and far off, unless the Most High, or unless God come and in mercy to fulfill his promise, right? Now they, at this point, maybe they don't believe that the Most High is actually going to do what he said he's going to do. I don't know. Let's keep going. Then Adam and Eve passed into the cave, blessing themselves from coming into it once more, for it was in their thoughts that they should never enter it when they saw fire around it. But as the sun was setting, the fire was still burning and nearing Adam and Eve in the cave, so that they could not sleep in it. After the sun had set, they went out of it. This was the 47th day after they came out of the garden. Adam and Eve then came under the top of the hill by the garden to sleep. as they were wont. I don't know what that as they were wont means, but I'm guessing that that means that like, they weren't allowed to be in the garden. So them get kind of sleeping by the top of the hill by the garden, you know, that maybe brings them some comfort. I'm not sure what that means here, but let's keep going. And they stood and prayed God to forgive them their sins, and then fell asleep under the summit of the mountain. But Satan, the hater of all good, that dark one, the lower vibe one, the devil, understand Satan, devil, Lucifer, all labels. Okay? All just labels. Even, dare I say, but understand God, Lord, labels. Why? Because, well, the Most High had a name, and it's Yahweh, right? So then you got to understand it. Like once the English did their translation and they put the word God and Lord there, and they unplugged the name that these people were using, and they unplugged the point of reference, which is intimate, and then they plug in their own words, that's a label at that point. It just is what it is. It's not disrespectful, because if anything, is more so like breaking the seal and offering respect, because it's like, okay, we've been calling you God and Lord all this time, and that's just the English was calling themselves God and Lord as men. Should we really be referring to the creator of the universe? Or so, what we think and what we believe is the creator of the universe, the spirit that created the universe, as a label that some random culture that translated this thing flippantly, and then they take the name and put it there? Should we really even be using that? I've always maintained that I feel like the spirit understands on a certain level, but once I feel like you kind of are responsible for it, kind of like that sort of thing. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep reading. So he says, Satan, the hater of all good, thought within himself, whereas the Most High has promised salvation to Adam. So Satan said to himself, like this, the low dark energy said this, the devil, the spirit is communicating to them, because it would know, because it's in, here's what you got to understand. The creator is in, is in Satan too. It's in all of the creation. Okay, understand? So that's how it would know what this being was thinking and saying. Okay, you get it? Okay. So Satan saying to himself about the humans, whereas God has promised salvation to Adam, or to be saved, some kind of a hero, like we need to be saved, freedom. So whereas the Most High has promised salvation to Adam by covenant, and that he would deliver him out of all the hardships that have befallen him, but has not promised me by covenant, and will not deliver me out of my hardships, nay, since he has since he has promised him that he should make him and his seed dwell in the kingdom in which I once was, I will kill Adam. Listen, I have said that through this vlog. Okay? I've said it through this vlog. The issue, like, look at the promise that he made to the humans to say, hey, I'm going to give you a chance. But he didn't give that lower one that same chance. I wonder why. I wonder if that lower one had transgressed before and was given grace, and then did it again. And that's when the spirit understood, you cut him off. Because first, for you to had been privy, to had been in this inner court like this, and to had seen my true beinghood and my true power, and you still would try to do something against me, I'm not giving you no more chances. You're done. Now, you better be glad I don't fully destroy you. And because I really love you, because you're one of my first beings, you better be glad that I really don't just take you out. So I'll let you have your, going on ahead. Because when the time comes, yeah, I'm going to get you up out of here. And I'm going to prove to you that them beings that I created that you hated so much, that you just thought they was always going to choose foul things, is going to be ones in certain generations that pop up that no matter what you do, they're never going to transgress my commandment and my will for the human beings, even all the way from the beginning. Deep stuff right there. All spiritual. Understand what I'm saying to you. All right. The only way this stuff can travel down the pipeline how it has is if it's spiritual. Because remember, what is he saying? He'll usually say both you and your seed coming after you. Well, who's the seed of the first humans on the planet? All of us. All of us. All of us. Now, when it comes down to the Hebrews and the chosen people and the promises and different things like that, because of the walks that was happening with the spirit and the spirit with those humans, that's something different. But that does not negate that all of us are the children of the first humans. And as such, that lower vibing, evil, dark, stank-minded one is always trying to do some foul junk because I just read it to you. He feels some type of way about the fact that his energy is not allowed to get back into the higher way. And I truly believe that, like, look, maybe we can't know this, but here's the thing. I've said this before in this vlog. When the Quran has an angle on this, that when you look at it, and again, I'm saying for the people that believe in the scriptures, believe in the Most High, I put this disclaimer here because I understand what we believe, and I'm saying to you, just if you're going to go dipping into the Quran, just make sure that you understand you're going to see a lot of the Bible in the Quran. Why? Because of Ishmael. Ishmael was Abraham's firstborn son. Ishmael was a Hebrew, and as such, he was taught the Hebrew way. So when the Hagar, the slave woman, or like their bond servant, because they didn't call each other slaves. Okay. So when this person, this woman that was with them, that worked with them, and the family took care of, and like they, she was an outsider. I believe she was an Egyptian woman, but I'm not sure. But I don't think she was fully Hebrew. I don't know. We would have to go look at it. I'm not going to look at it right now. But we're going to get to that soon because I'm still in the book of, I'm still early up in Genesis. So we're going to get to it. But on this vlog, because I'm reading through all the Keeper Nagaz, I'm reading through all the Bible, all the Apocrypha, all of it. All of it. I got the testaments of the 12 when they died. I have every single one of their testaments. All of it. I got everything. Everything that they tried to hide from us. Everything that they tried to act like we weren't going to never get back to. I got it all. And the Most High said, read it. So this would be the Ark of the Covenant. This is what you have to understand. The things that would have been in the Ark of the Covenant, I'm reading all of it. On YouTube. So my work is cut out for me. This is a tithe. I don't need these videos. I don't need this thing to get monetized. Like, I'm not focused on trying to monetize this. It's not about that. This is about the fact that I love what I'm doing. I love these scriptures. I love the Most High. I love the higher path. I love morality. I love what I do. So I'm going to keep showing up to do it. But let's go ahead and keep reading because maybe I don't want to lose my point there. So, whoa. Where were we? Befalling him. Oh, okay. Well, he says, I will kill Adam. I will kill the first man because he got a path to salvation and you didn't give me that. But like I said, I believe as graceful as the Most High always comes off. And even though, listen, when you really know the scriptures and you really dig into them, the Most High don't play neither. So that same intensity and grace also is like you get the same intensity and I'm about to smack your tail off the earth for what you did. Same intensity. You're not gonna is you ain't gonna get too much in between. The scriptures even says he can't stand in between. You're gonna either be hot, cold, or you about to get spit out. You about to you pick one. Cause I ain't about to deal with you keep doing all this in the middle. Like I will remove myself from you, or I'm about to throw what you've been asking for, I'm about to smack you in the back of your head. I'm just saying. But at the same time, soon as you recognize what you got going on, maybe your heart is hard or your mind is split, your spirit is split, you're trying to figure out what you got going on, and you send that prayer up, he's going to answer and give you grace. And that's the beauty. And this is what I'm saying right here. I believe he did give grace to that lower one already. And I believe he transgressed again. I believe, that's just me personally. I do believe, this is what I was saying earlier about the whole Quran thing. I do believe that the Quran even says that he had a few different issues. And by the time he did what he did to the humans, the spirit was just like, look, dog, you cut off. You and yours who with you gone on ahead. Who the ones you've been tricking and trying to get to follow you, y'all ain't never getting back. And again, I'm not going to destroy you because I love you because you're my first being, but you're not going to ever be able to get back to this because we gave you chances. So now the humans, they get the same thing extended to them. But see, they now have a path to get back to the higher state. Whereas that lower one is just allowed to keep living and doing whatever it's doing. And that's why the warning goes out, yo, you inhabitants of the earth, you humans, watch yourself, because that low vibing one is there and is always crouching at the door waiting to try and get you on something. How can that happen? In your mind. Because if it can't get to your mind directly, what is it going to do? It's going to send one of its imps your way to try and get you in your mind. Talking crazy, inviting you to do things and smooth, sweet nothings. If you, the women, you got these men out here that's just always playing games, constantly, just all that. So let me hurry up and finish this chapter because I'm almost done with this chapter, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next chapter because it's only been 17 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the earth shall be rid of him and shall be left to me alone, so that when he is dead, he may not have any seed left to inherit the kingdom that shall remain my own realm. The Most High will then be in want of me, and he will restore me to it with my host. Like I just told you, he told him and them ones that was with him, get on going, bro, you tripping. But Lee, you hear that right there. He wanted this. He like, look, I want this for myself. And then to be so deceptive to think that the one that created him would be in desire of him and a desire to get restored back to a higher state with his host. It's not, he should already know that it's just not going to work like that. He should already know that. But of course, he's the low vibing lying one. So of course of course he thinks that. Of course that's what he thinks. Of course that's what he thinks. But let's jump in to let's jump into this next one. And then I'm gonna hurry up and fly through this one, and then okay. So after this, Satan called to his host, all of which came to him and said unto him. So again, like what I said to you, I don't believe that it was literal physical, like a whole, but like I told, man, I ain't never seen no Hollywood looking devil before. I just don't. So who are these hosts that's popping up? Like, are they just like all convening as beings Nah, I think that has something to do with the energy that this being was dealing with, the spirit that this being was dealing with. But that's just me, and that's just my commentary. Said, let's keep reading because sometimes I get proven wrong. That's the beautiful thing about reading. So let's keep going. So he says, he called to all his hosts, all of which came to him, and said unto him, and never mind. oh, oh, Most High, what will you do? Then he came, oh, our Lord. Oh, see, that's why I gotta read right there. So they're not talking about Yahweh. They're not talking about the Most High. They're saying, now look, here you have Satan being referred to as Lord by his beings. Well, there you go right there. The English taking that word that was God and Lord was English, was terms that they was using for each other before they ever put it on the highest one. So again, what do we really have going on with that? But here you have these beings calling that lower one lower, or like, hey, leader, because again, that's what it means, y'all. I'm just trying to tell you, that's what it means. Lord is not his name. God is not his name. Anything could be a God. Like, understand that, so that just gets real intricate. It's just certain things that my spirit knows, like, don't say that because you're trying to do certain things in your life and you don't want to be shut down. But I can go in on some stuff, but the spirit is letting me know, like, I'll keep it pushing. Okay. So, so they says, oh, leader, what will you do? Oh, Satan. And I don't even feel right saying that, but that's what they said. Said, then the lower one says to them, or Satan says to them, you know that this Adam, or this man, because Adam means first man, or this human, right? And Eve is mother of the living. So understand that was not their names, okay? Again, just like Lord God was not the Most High's name, right? Satan, Lucifer, devil, labels, okay? So, okay. Now, the name of the Most High, Yahweh, that's not a label, that's the name. That's what they knew to refer to that spirit as, right? The highest one. That's what Yahweh means, the highest. Okay, so you know this Adam, this man whom the Most High, or who God created out of the dust, is he who has taken our kingdom, That's deep right there. Like I told you, there were already beings around before the humans. So they feel like, man, these dudes, we got to share this with them. They didn't encroach upon us. Like, selfish, bro. You see that in these humans running around the planet talking about population control. There's so much space on this earth, man. What are you talking about population control, bro? That's selfishness. That's the same thing that they talking about right here. I'm just saying. Like I always say, I ain't never seen no devil before, but I've always seen humans on some foul junk. I'm just saying. That's the devil. So they say, he has taken our kingdom. These humans intend to take our kingdom because this is what the Most High did. So come, let us gather together and kill him, or hurl a rock at him and Adam and Eve and crush them under it. Dang. When Satan's host heard these words, they came to the part of the mountain where Adam and Eve were asleep. Then Satan and his host took a huge rock, broad and even, and without blemish, thinking within himself, if there should be a hole in the rock, when it fell on them, the hole in the rock might come upon them, and so they would escape and not die. So he then said to his host, take up this stone and throw it flat upon them, so that it roll not from them to somewhere else. And when you have hurled it, flee and tarry not, or don't wait around. That's it. Listen, man, like I always said, these things can be layered. This could be literal, or if we really sat here and broke it down and we start talking about what stones are, and we start talking about, just even in the previous two chapters, we talking about the fire outside their cave, and then the Most High refers to fire to the state of being separated from the higher being. It could be layered like that, but let's just keep reading. So because me personally, I have a hard time imagining beings that's there trying to push this rock down on them. However, is not far-fetched, because here we are as humans, right? Think about it. You should just really think about what I'm saying right here. If you can catch that, like, if you can get that depth, like, okay, here we are as beings. This amazing, like, we're amazing. Humans are amazing. Humans, look, man, I love technology. Like, this AI stuff and this technology that humans are coming up with is like mind blowing. It's amazing what some of these humans come up with, man. Amazing. So you really got to think about it. Us as beings, we're spectacular. So, you know, I think the thing that gives me a hard time is like, well, okay, if these beings, where are they now? Since the humans are still here, but if you say they supposed to be on the planet, where they at? I mean, I ain't never seen none outside, like no human outside of the animals. So where they at? So that's the thing that kind of had me like be like, well, maybe this is metaphorical, or maybe this is spiritual, not so much physical. But then you kind of got to think like, well, if these is the early humans, they probably were way more exposed to things like supernatural type things that you would look at and feel like, it's like, how can this be? Maybe this is so outlandish. And they probably were way more privy to that type of stuff. So can I say that, oh, this ain't how it happened, this is fake? I can't. But we just gonna read through it and keep pushing. All right. Some stuff I ain't got no commentary for. I just don't know what to say. Like, I could go and break it down and come back, and in fact, I do need to start doing some shorts about certain concepts, go and dig into some research and come back and maybe do a short like, hey, I just got done reading about this, but this is deeper, maybe that'll help me make my videos shorter also. So let's just hurry up and finish. So when you throw the stone to point them, don't wait around. That's what Satan told his hosts, his minions, or whatever. Like the one that was the energy. That's the word moving around them. Okay, and they did as he bid them, as he told them. But as the rock fell down from the mountain upon Adam and Eve, the Most High commanded it to become a kind of shed over them that did them no harm, and so it was by the Most High's order. Now, the Most High is not physically there, nor any angels. So this is what I'm saying about the state. Like, is this spiritual? Like, for instance, let's say that, let's deal with this from like a chemistry science standpoint for a second. Let's be hypothetical. Let's say that this energy can communicate within itself, but it's an energy. And let's say that this negative energy, because it can have a response in this realm. So it's like the scripture that talks about he's the God of the just and the unjust, the good and the evil. Not a respecter of persons. And I've always felt like the energy of cause and effect here, it doesn't respect bad or good. It just responds and it gives what is given to it. Okay? So let's say that, because again, this is why I'm saying this, because they were protected, but it doesn't mention any angel. It doesn't mention that the Most High was there even himself. It just says by his order, right? So if it's already written that the lower one has a certain amount of power or energy, if you will, then you kind of got to think, well, if since I want to say this without like, I'm not, doctrinally, you gotta be careful with certain things, because like, I don't want to create something new, but it's just kind of like, maybe when you deal with that negative energy, it's like it's moving around the rock, and it causes the rock to slide from a higher place down to where they were. And so then you have the Spirit saying, as the rock fell, or as the rock fell from the mountain or from the higher, upon them, it became kind of a shed over them. What does that mean? That mean the rocks, it stopped. It got held up somewhere above them and it never made it to them. Okay? So perhaps the conversation here between Satan and his hosts is not so much a literal physical, like they showed up at the mountain and they pushing a rock off the side. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is why I mean, like, when we get to dealing with the labels, Satan, Lucifer, devil, labels, you can't get caught up because, you use it to understand what the being is, who you're dealing with. That's just like the movie Nope. I always talk about this. Movie Nope, they named the character, or they named the being in the movie Jean Jacket, because, they kept referring to it as that thing, that Bama, that mug, that this thing, we don't know what it is. Man, we be naming these horses because he was a horse raiser in the movie. We be raising these horses, so we gonna call it Jean Jacket. Okay? So that's the label, right? So you got, like, let's see what we got. So the stone falls, it stops above them, okay? But when the rock fell, the whole earth quaked with it and was shaken from the size of the rock. Now, was that the whole entire earth? Or was it just the earth where they were? I think it was just the earth where they were, because that has to be a massive rock to make the whole entire earth shake like that. Like the whole thing, like, come on, man. Okay. The earth near them, okay? So as it quaked and shook, Adam and Eve awoke from sleep and found themselves under a rock like a shed. But they knew not how it was, for when they fell asleep, they were under the sky and not under a shed. And when they saw it, they were afraid. Okay, that's interesting. Then Adam said to, because they were not in the cave. Remember that. Then, because they went up they was near the garden, remember? Then Adam said to Eve, wherefore has the mountain bent itself, and the earth quaked and shaken on our account? And why has this rock spread itself over us like a tent? Does God, or does the Most High, intend to plague us and shut us up in this prison, or will he close the earth upon us? So again, they don't really know. Like, they're having a hard time. They're always having a hard time trying to figure out what's going on. He is angry with us for our having come out of the cave without his order, and for our having done so of our own accord without consulting him when we left the cave and came to this place. So now they think every little thing is going to be something. Again, like I always say, early humans, they probably was really going through it right here. Like, because they knew a state that was higher, and now they're not there anymore. Okay? In modern times, we know what that's like. I want to say just about every human would have to know what that's like, to be at a state and have had something very good going on, and you screw it up, and then you can never get back, and you just kind of always got to deal with that. Like, dang. And eventually you get over it and you move on and you do what you gotta do. But it can kind of always be lingering, like, man, like I had that good right there. I messed up. Imagine trying to get back to something and you can't, and you love it so much and you want it so much, you desire it so much that you just trying to do everything you can and you just cannot get back. That's what has them really going through it. So then Eve said, if indeed, and these are the last few verses and then this video gonna be done. Then Eve said, if indeed the earth quaked for our sake, and this rock forms a tent over us because of our transgression, then woe be to us. Or like, hey man, like, hey, O Adam, for our punishment will be long. But arise and pray to God pray to the Most High to let us know concerning this and what this rock is that is spread over us like a tent. Okay, so now Eve is starting to kind of show some wisdom there. She's starting to see what's going on. She's learning. And now she's saying to Adam, hey, go pray. Don't just respond to this. Now, before Eve wasn't known that. Now we're starting to see her say like, hey, man, go figure out what you got going on, because now she's starting to see how these things go. Remember, Adam was around longer than her. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Eve kind of pretty much came into beinghood, and then boom, here comes the dark one with her, tricked her. That's just going to show you, like, he knew what he was doing. She was new. It wasn't because the woman is weak. It's just because she was newer than Adam. And maybe there was just something about her state of being that was even different than Adam. And that lower one knew that. Satan knew that. Okay. So then Adam stood up and prayed before the Most High, or prayed before the Lord, the highest one, to let him know about this straight. Like, tell him what's going on. And Adam thus stood praying until the morning. All right. And then that's it. So the next chapter is 49, and then I'll be on chapter 50. And I ain't got nothing else to say at the end of this video. Hit the subscription button if you haven't already. Hit the notification button so you can know when the new videos are posted. I'm going to be posting these on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. All right. If this information resonates with you, share it with someone. You know, you probably know someone and it resonates with them. Share it with them. Y'all be blessed. Thank you for coming. Peace.